now, though. Stop talking or show. There we
Are
go.
we on? We're on? Are we
On.
on? Give me thumbs up if we're on. Are we on? Yes? No?
Oh, notification came on.
I need this. So my iPad is over there. Okay, guys. So if you're on, I hope you're on. Give me a thumbs up. We'll wait a little bit because I know some friends, if you're like us, you had to rush home to eat. Maybe you went for lunch and then you had to rush home for kids' church. You gotta open. There you go. So we go ahead and get started. And to get started, have you ever played this game before? This game is called Simon. I don't know if you've ever played it before. And it's basically all you do is you do the same thing when he does. So he's going to start. All right. And says we're going to start solo because I'm going to play by myself. And I have to do the same thing he does. You have to listen and watch. See how long I can go before I get out. Oh no, I got messed up.
Into the blue.
Was it obvious? Well, I knew it would have to do right there. So I lost that round. I played by myself. Or you can play with a friend if you've ever played this game. But how you play the game is you have to just listen and watch the colors that light up and do the exact same pattern. Kind of like Simon Says. You've ever played Simon Says? You have to do exactly what Simon says. Like if I said, Simon says, touch your nose. You have to touch your nose. Simon says, put your hand down. But if I don't say Simon says, then you can't put your head down. Okay, Simon says, put your hand down. Simon says, touch your head. Simon says, touch your chin with your other hand. Simon says, put both hands in the air. Now put your hands down. I can't do it because Simon didn't say. Basically the same thing like this game. You have to do exactly what Simon says to win the game. And the winner of Simon Says, the winner of Simon Says is the one that follows the instructions exactly how Simon tells you. And how to win this game is you follow the lights exactly how Simon tells you. It's a pretty simple game and it can be kind of frustrating because it gets hard sometimes. And maybe I'll play a little bit longer this time. Tony said, duh, you saw the blue, but I got a little confused with all the lights going off and on. So in order for us to win the game, we have to do exactly what Simon says. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing as Christians. You know, our ultimate prize, our goal when we win at life is when we honor God. It's when we follow God's instructions. God promised that He's going to take care of us. And He's going to bless us. And He's going to protect us. And He's going to give us the things that we desire in our heart. And He's going to show us whenever there's hard situations. Or whenever we're afraid, He's going to keep us safe. And He's going to help us to be courageous. And He's going to help us to not be afraid. All of these things God promises us. But we have to follow the directions. It's kind of like all of God's prizes, all of the rewards that He wants to give us. He can't give it to us unless we follow His instructions. Like we can't win this game if we don't follow the instructions. Or we can't win at Simon Says if we don't follow instructions. So the Bible gives us plenty of instructions to live. And we read in the book of Joshua, there's in the book of Joshua, see, Joshua was a young leader. And he was getting ready. He was getting ready to take over. On the in the book of Joshua, Joshua was getting ready to be the leader of a great nation, kind of like the president of the United States of America. That's a major responsibility. That is a lot of that's a hard responsibility, and that's why we should pray for our president, no matter who our president is, because that's a hard job. That's a major responsibility. And Joshua was getting ready to become the leader of a nation, an entire nation. Moses, if you remember Moses took the people, the Israelites, out of Egypt because they were in slavery. They were slaves. They had hard labor to do, and their bosses or their masters, they were not good to them. And so God told Moses to go and take my people out of slavery, take my people out of Egypt. And so Moses did that, and Moses led the people out of Egypt. And I don't know if you remember, but he crossed the Red Sea. God opened up the Red Sea, and the people were able to cross over. And then out in the desert, and God gave Moses the 10 commandments, and those are 10 basic rules for us to live, for the people of Israel to live and to honor God, and also for us, because it wasn't just for the people in Israel of the Bible time, also for us too. And so Moses was the leader of this great nation, and God directed him and showed him many things, and God even spoke to Moses plenty times, and God would go up on the mountain and talk to God. And so Moses was already old, and he died. And so the people needed a leader, and God chose Joshua. Now, being the leader of a great nation, that is major. That's major responsibility. Would you like to have that kind of responsibility? I wouldn't. That would make me very, very nervous. I wouldn't want the responsibility of an entire nation in my hands. I would say, no, thank you. Give to the next person. But Joshua, God chose Joshua. Let's see. In chapter 1, verse 1 of Joshua, it says, after the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord, the Lord said to Joshua, son of Nun, Moses' aide. So Joshua was Moses' helper. He was kind of like the vice president. He was Moses' second-hand man, right-hand man. Is that how you would say second-hand or right-hand man? He would say he was Moses' right-hand man. Well, Moses died. So that meant that Joshua had to step up and be the leader. Now that's major. And God saw that. It kind of made Joshua just a little bit nervous. Made him kind of worried and scared, because that's a big responsibility. I just keep saying it over and over because it is a major responsibility. And so God keeps telling Joshua over and over. He says it plenty of times. He says it in verse 6. He says it in verse 7. He even says it in verse 9. And he probably even says it more after that, but he tells him, be strong and courageous. Be strong. You know what strong is. It doesn't always mean just strong in muscles. I can lift big, heavy rocks. Strong means also strong in your mind and strong in your heart. You know, if you're strong in your heart, you know that I believe God, and I believe, God, you're going to take care of us, and you're going to protect us, and you're going to lead us and guide us through this. And no matter what's happening on the outside, no matter if big wild animals try to attack us, because remember, they were in the desert. No matter if those things are going on, no matter if that kind of stuff is happening, if you're strong in your heart, strong in your faith, you just say, nope, I'm not going to worry about that because God's going to take care of it. And God kept telling Joshua, be strong and courageous. Don't be afraid. Be strong and courageous. When you're strong in your mind, you can be strong in your muscles. You can be strong in your heart, in your faith, and know that God told you you're going to be okay. Then you just know. No questions asked. You can be strong in your faith as well. You can, whenever God tells you, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to protect you. I'm going to lead you through victory. And you're going to have success in your faith. You can say, yep, that's what God told me. I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to live my life because God's going to take care of me. So you're strong in your, there's an ant. That's a gnat. Sorry, a good gnat. So when you're strong in your faith, you just know. You don't even have to worry about anything else. You just know that God is going to take care of you. So that's what God kept trying to get across to Joshua. He kept saying, be strong and courageous. Don't worry about anything else. So let's read in verse 7, chapter 1, verse 7. He says, be strong and very courageous. Be strong and very courageous. Verse 6, he says, be strong and courageous. But in verse 7, he says, be strong and very courageous. Be careful, he says, to obey all the law my servant, to obey all the law my servant Moses gave you. Remember, Joshua was Moses' helper, Moses' right-hand man. And so Joshua, God is telling Joshua, obey all of the instructions that Moses gave you. And it says, do not turn from it to the right or to the left, that you may be successful wherever you go. Remember, Joshua is getting ready to be the leader of a whole nation, an entire nation. And then in verse 8, it says, do not let this book of the law depart from your mouth. That could be the Bible. See, Moses got all of his instructions straight from God. All of his instructions, God told Moses, and Moses wrote them down. And God even etched them on the stone tablets. Those were the Ten Commandments. But other things that God told to Moses, Moses wrote it down and had all of it in a book. And part of it is part of the Bible. And that's how God gave us his word in the Bible. He told all of the teachers and all the prophets, they got their instructions directly from God. And they wrote it down for us. Verse 8, do not let this book of the law depart from you. What does it say? Meditate on it. Do not, I'm sorry, God, I lost my place. So that, I went back to the wrong verse. So verse 8 says, do not let this book of the law depart from your mouth. Meditate on it day and night. That word meditate means think about it. Think about it in the daytime. Think about it at nighttime. when you read the Bible, just say, oh, I remember how God told Joshua to be strong and courageous. Think about that. When you wake up in the morning, I'm going to be strong and courageous like Joshua. When you lay down at nighttime and maybe you're feeling a little bit nervous because it's dark in your room, you can remember God told Joshua. It's in the Bible. God told Joshua to be strong, be very courageous. Think about it. That's what meditate means. It means meditate. That means you think about it in the daytime, you think about it in the nighttime. And then it says, so that you may be careful to do everything written in it. You can do, these are our instructions. These are our instructions. And then it says, the last part of verse 8, it says, then you will be prosperous and successful. You know what prosperous means? That's a fancy word for rich. Prosperous means rich. That's a fancy word for rich. You can be rich with a lot of money. Who wants to be rich with a lot of money? Yep. Or you can also be rich in your spirit. That means when you're rich in your spirit, that means you love to read the Bible and you listen for God to instruct you in the Bible. You're rich in your spirit. You just want to worship God all the time. You hear a song on the radio and you say, oh, thank you, Jesus. You're so good. That's being rich in your spirit. Now, the people back in they didn't have jobs to go get money, but they did actually have silver and gold that they brought with them out of Egypt. So they were kind of rich, like in money. But you know how else they could have been rich? In their land. They were farmers. They had to plant their own. They couldn't go to H-E-B. They couldn't go to Walmart to buy food and to make food to eat. They had to plant and grow their own food. So their land can be rich too. So their land can be prosperous and successful. Wouldn't you want to be successful? Successful means that whatever you do is going to be awesome. Like if you're trying out for the football team and you're scared and you don't know if you're going to make it or not. But when you're successful, that means I did it. I'm going to do it. I know I can do it. When you're successful, you accomplish the things that you want to do. So the Bible tells us right here, God is telling Joshua, if you follow all of the instructions in this book of the law, you will be prosperous. You'll be rich and you'll be successful. That means you will accomplish anything that you want to, anything that you feel like. And a lot of times they ask you in school, what do you want to be when you grow up? And maybe you've had the same dream since you were little bitty, and you said, I want to be an astronaut. That's all I ever want to do. I just want to be an astronaut. I want to fly into space, and I want to be among the stars, and I want to see the planets up close, and I want to float. If that's always been your dream, you will have success. That bird distracted me. You will always have success when we follow the word of God, when we follow the instructions in this book of the law. Now, when Moses had the book, it wasn't the whole Bible. We got more. We got more instructions here. But God told Joshua, as long as you follow all of the instructions that I gave Moses, then you'll be just fine. You'll win. You'll be a winner. You'll be prosperous and you will be successful. That's what we all want. We want to be prosperous and successful, even for your parents or your grandparents. That's what they want too. They want to be prosperous. Remember, prosperous means rich. But rich doesn't always just mean money. Rich can also be rich in your faith and rich in your spirit because God is with you. And your parents also want to be successful, and they want more than anything for you to be rich and for you to be successful. So if we follow God's instructions, then we will have those things. I remember when that it was an old song, but it was if I hold up, is that going to be backwards? It's not going to be backwards, right? So this word right here, and it was an old song, and I think it might have been something else. This word right here says Bible, but each of these letters, it stood for something. So B was for basic. Basic. That means like that's the most simplest. The I stood for instructions. Have you ever gotten instructions before? Especially like at school, I ran out of room. So basic instructions before L stood for leaving. Before leaving where? Where are we going? Before leaving Earth. You know that we live on Earth, but when we are children of God, we don't belong on Earth. We belong with God in heaven. We belong with Him and His glory. And so God gave us instructions. The Bible, He gave us basic instructions before leaving Earth. That's a pretty cool song. Maybe Tony can, maybe Pastor Tony can find it. I don't know. But God didn't just drop us in the earth and say, figure it out. No, He gave us instructions. And if we follow His instructions, we'll be successful and we will be prosperous. Basic instructions before leaving Earth. See, we have a mission. Like, not mission impossible, because it is possible. With God, all things are possible. But God gave us a mission. And He gave us instructions for our mission. And there's lots of ways that you can accomplish your mission, because everybody's mission is different. That means your job, your assignment, your duty is unique to you. But God gave us these instructions, the instructions right here in the Bible, right here in God's Word. So when we follow God's instructions, when we follow Him, then we will have prosperity. We'll be prosperous. Remember, that means rich. And successful. That means we can accomplish anything that you set your heart and mind to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a picture. And you're going to be so amazed. So you'll need a piece of paper and something to write with, a pencil or a pen, and then later you can go back and color it. So we're going to draw something. I don't know. I don't think I should tell you. Should we tell them what we're drawing? Oh, listen. This is the song. It's the song is saying a Bible verse, John 3:16. God so loved the world that He gave His only Son, and whoever believes in Him will not perish, but will die, but will have everlasting life. That means you will live forever. La, 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 la. And the Bible, the song says basic instructions before leaving Earth. That's our Bible. Basic instructions before leaving Earth. And the whole song is just full of all the Bible verses. So if you if you have a phone or if you have a tablet, ask your mom or your dad to help you search that. It's called, is that the name of the song?
Basic instructions. Burlap to cashmere.
The name of the group is Burlap to Cashmere, and Basic Instructions. That's the name of the song. Basic Instructions. So the whole song is it's just nothing but Bible verses. That's the reason why you should listen to Christian music, because it's full of Bible verses. Sometimes you don't want to read and read and read, but if you listen to Christian music, it has Bible verses. Like this song is nothing but Bible verses. Okay, all of that to say. So we're going to draw a picture, and it's going to be hopefully a surprise. And so we're going to draw a picture. So all you need a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil. So we're going to start with our paper, our piece of paper, our one piece of paper, and we're going to fold it into four boxes. So first we're going to fold it a long way, like this. We're going to fold it this way. So we'll have one line going this way. And then let's open it up for, well, one line going this way. And then let's go ahead and fold it down. Fold it down again one more time. There you go. So when we open it up, we're going to have 4 boxes, okay? So we folded it in half this way, and then we folded it in half this way, kind of like a book. But we're not cutting and we're not tearing. So what we're going to do now is we're going to open up the paper. And see how we have the 4 different boxes? Is anybody with this right now?
Shows 5 people.
Hi, 5 people. We don't see your names, but I'm glad you're here. Hi, Elon. What's Kevin?
Your mom.
Hi, your mom. Okay, so you have your piece of paper and your 4 squares. I'm not going to tell you what we're going to draw. We're going to see if you follow my directions, just like right here, if you follow my instructions, then you will have the same picture that I have. It might look a little bit different, but I think it's going to be the same. Now, I have a cheat page here okay. So what we're going to do is the first thing is we are going to draw a, let me see, what would you say, like a quarter of a circle. So like if we did a whole circle like this, it would be a whole circle, but a quarter of a circle would be just 1 square. All to say. So let's just go ahead and draw. We're going to go from this. I don't know if I can do it upside down. Here, right here. I'll do it this way. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna do it upside down, but you do it exactly what you see here. So we're gonna start. Remember, here are our lines. You can draw the lines with pencil if you need to see them better, but I'm not gonna do that. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna do is we're going to draw like a rounded circle from here to here. Okay. Remember, like if we did a circle, but we're only going to do a quarter of the circle. So we're going to go, we're going to stop right there. You see how I did that? If I would have kept going, I would have had a circle all the way around. But I don't want a full circle. I just want a quarter of a circle. That means just 1 square of a circle. And then we're going to go ahead and draw the line here and draw the line here. So there I go, kind of like a pizza pie. I have a piece of pizza right here. Okay, don't draw this one. We want a big piece of pizza. So this is what is here. Okay. Now the next part is we're going to do the same thing except a smaller slice. Okay, so we're going to draw a round line from here down to here, down to here. Okay, so we're going to go here a little bit smaller. We don't want it as big as this one. We're going to go a little bit smaller. So from here and round it down to this line right here. I didn't hit it exactly, but that's okay. We're going to round it down to that line. Then let's go ahead and just draw that line there. Can you take a wild guess what this is going to be? I bet you'll never guess. You will never, ever guess. Okay, so the next step, so we have the large pie, the large piece. Hi, Emmanuel. We have this large piece, and we have a small piece. Do you have that much? Okay, now our next step is we're going to put two kind of like oval shape. We're going to put one going this way. That's more like half an oval. We'll put one going this way. I'll put the other one going this way. So that's like two half ovals there. All right. This is where it's going to get interesting, you guys. Are you ready? So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a swirl. You know what a swirl is? So what we're going to do is we're going to start right here on the bottom, right here. And we're just going to make a swirl going this way, going down. So we're going to go swirl around and stop. That's it. Start at the bottom and swirl around and stop. Just like that. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to come right back up. So we're going to make this, we're going to make it kind of round. And then we're just going to follow right. Oh, wait, hold on. We're going to follow right back up the swirl and end it right there. You'll see that? Do you have any idea what we're making now? So here's our swirl. The first swirl, we went down and swirled around. Then we curved it around this way and we followed the swirl right back up. Can anybody tell what it is?
Can I guess?
I don't know.
It's a monkey.
Not a monkey. Okay, here we go. Let's go to part. Now the next part is going to be a circle. Those are pretty easy. So we're just going to make a circle right here. Kind of at the top of this right here. Maybe in the middle. Like right here. Let's just make a circle. Make a circle. And we're going to put a small circle on the inside. Can you tell what it is? Let's put a small circle on the inside.
Is it a lizard?
So it's obviously the eyeball right there. Okay. You good now? Okay. You see what it's starting to look like now, you guys? All right. So now what we're going to do, all chameleons need stripes. So here's a little cheat thing. So if you have a notebook piece of paper, you can just trace these lines. Chameleons need stripes because chameleons always change colors depending on where they are. That's good. You know, whenever we have instructions, we have to be able to adjust to the things that are around us. Then we're going to stripe his tail. Let's go ahead and stripe his tail. And that's all I'm doing. Striping his tail. I can't wait to see you guys' chameleon. There we go. All right. Chameleons they love the sunlight because they can't control if they get cold or if they get hot. So if they get too cold, they have to go sit in the sun. So let's go ahead and make a sun. You can make your sun any way you want to. I'm just going to do a circle. I'm going to color it later. I'm going to do a circle and I'm going to do the sun rays just like that. And chameleon's favorite place to be is up on the tree. So right here, see, these are his legs. Now that we know that they are legs, we're just going to go ahead and draw a stick. So there, he's up on the stick, straight across. There we go. And we need leaves. Let's put some leaves down here on the bottom. We'll put a leaf there. Put a leaf there. We'll put a leaf hiding behind his tail. The chameleons, they like to hide. And if you know anything about chameleons, they change their colors. You can even add some leaves up here on the top if you want to. They change their colors so they can camouflage themselves. So here is our chameleon. If you have crayons and markers, you can go ahead and color your chameleon. I thought I had other. Oh, there are the markers. Right there on the shelf by the washing machine. So I'm gonna go ahead and color, and you guys, if you want to color with me, you can. If not, I still want to see your chameleon because I think they're super awesome. Huh? They were like, lost them again. Tony is finding a special gift. So we can go ahead and color. Ta-da-da. I'm coloring the leaves. And I guess I should have started. Did you find the buddy? You know, last week we were looking for the buddies, and you know, when we found them, the next day. Okay. All right, so I have my leaves all colored. Because if you're joining us right now, we're going to give you a special gift. Oh, yeah.
We'll just do another necklace.
Okay, so like for sure, I know for sure we're going to find those buddies probably like in the next 10 minutes. Okay, so we did our leaves, and now you can do these stripes. You can do them any color you want. You can do rainbow pattern. You can pretty much do anything. If you want to do a pattern, green, yellow, green, blue, green, blue. You make your pattern look I don't have any more colors. Make your chameleon look any way you want. But if you followed all of my instructions, then you have a picture that looks very similar to mine. It might be different a little bit, like yours might be smaller, yours might be bigger. Yours might be super skinny, or yours might be super chubby. But you know what? They are super cool. I already know that they look amazing. So you guys, I want to say thank you for joining us. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to post, when I'm done coloring here, I'm going to post my picture on that same page right there where you're looking, where you're watching the same page. I'm going to post what my picture looks like. I want you guys to post what your chameleon looks like too. So I'm going to keep on coloring, you guys. And when I'm done, I'm going to post the picture. And I want to see your picture too, okay? And if you missed the whole tutorial or everything, or if you missed it all, go back and watch it real quick. And then draw your chameleon. And so I will wait for your picture. I'm going to keep coloring because I love coloring. I'm going to keep coloring. I'm going to post our picture right there. And I want to see your pictures too.
What chance in those?
2 of them? Okay, so Pastor Tony has these super cool necklaces. And Kevin won his necklace last week. He chose the purple one.
Elon won the other one.
Elon?
Yeah.
So that was 2 necklaces right there.
It's going to be new. Check this out. It
You
can
make
be
it long, or you can make it short, because you know sometimes some people like to wear their necklaces up here. Some people like to wear them necklaces that are a little bit lower. So you can adjust your necklace however long you want it. So if you want to win one of those super cool necklaces, draw your picture and post it right there on the page where is that the church page? On the first banner?
Yeah.
Of God.
They can go Celebration Kids too, because I think I shared that too.
Or on Celebration Kids. If you're watching on Celebration Kids, whatever page you're watching on, post your picture. And you can have a chance to win one of those super cool necklaces. But guess what? You have to do it today. If you want a necklace, you have to do it today. Okay? Don't miss your chance. So I'm going to keep coloring. I hope to see your pictures. I'm going to post it right there on the church page. I'm going to put on the church page and also on the Celebration Kids page. So I want to see your pictures too, and everybody that I see, the first 3 people to post, first 3 people to post their pictures, you're going to get a super cool necklace.
We're gonna see, like, for example, the ones that won last week. If nobody else posted pictures, then they can have a chance to win it again. But if they already won last week, we're gonna give a chance to if somebody else. But they need to post their pictures too, so we can see them.
Yep. You don't post a picture, you don't get a chance to win. Simple as that. Bam, mic drop. All right, you guys. I'll see you in a little bit. Well, I'll see your pictures in a little bit, I hope. If you don't have colors or markers, that's okay. Just draw your picture. Just draw your picture. That's simple. Talk to you in a little bit. Or, no. We'll see you next week. Bye, guys. I love you. I missed the playpen until you're gone.
Oh, there it is. Finished. Goodbye.